My name's Nilambara Das.
ニランバラダスと申します。
And it's nice to be here in Japan and nice to see all lovely devotees.
日本に来れて、また日本の経営者の皆さんにお会いできて嬉しく思います。
And it's lovely to be in this beautiful temple, an ashram of SarveshwarNarasimhaTemple. It's a very beautiful ashram, very beautiful place.
これの美しい、ナラシムハ神のテンプルとアシュラムに来れて嬉しいです。
And Radha Krishna.
ラーダクリシュナと。
It's a very, very beautiful temple. Very
とても美しいテンプルですね。
lovely feeling here. It's really nice. And so I would like to share a story about how I received. This is Narayana Krishna here that you can see on the asana. I'd like to share a story about him with you all.
私がナラヤナクリシュナ様を授かった時のお話をさせていただきたいと思います。
Yeah, and about how I received him and how and the story of how I got him from Swami Vishwananda, my guru.
どのように、ナラヤナクリシュナ様をシュリスワミ・ビシュワナンダから授かったかというお話をさせていただきます。
Okay, so the story started in November 2019.
2019年の11月に話が始まります。
And it was Kartik night, and I live in England, in London, and I was going to drive to Springen, to Germany, to go and take part in Kartik night in the ashram in Springen with Guruji.
2019年の11月のカルティックナイトに出席するためにイギリスからシュリピタニラヤのドイツに向かって車で向かっていました。
And when I left, I drove in my I have a van that I use for work. So I used this van to drive, and I went with two devotees. I took two devotees with me on the way, traveling from England to Germany, driving through Europe.
いつも仕事で使うバンを、ドライブして2人の経営者と一緒にイギリスからドイツに向かっていました。
Yeah, and I used to have a small Krishna deity, and he was very big, like a strong Krishna. He looked like a very strong, very big build Krishna. But he was only little, but he was very big build. And I took him with me whenever I would do singing.
私はいつも、小さなクリシュナを持ってたんですけども、彼は小さいんですけれど、とても力強くてたくましい、かっこいい。
And this one time when I was driving to Germany, when I was halfway to Germany, I realized I'd forgotten my Krishna. I'd forgotten my Krishna deity to bring him with me to Kartik, so I'd forgot him.
いつも、彼をどこに行くの一緒に行ってたんですけれども、そのシュリピタニラヤに行く時の道中にそのクリシュナを忘れたということに気づきました。
And so I'd left him at home. So I left him at home, and drove to Springen. We managed to get to Springen, and it was Kartik night.
家に忘れたって気づいたんですね。
And people in the Kartik, the Kartik was in the tent. There was a big tent next to the ashram where they were having where they were celebrating the Kartik. A big tent, like.
カルティックは大きなテント、アシュラムの隣にあるんですけど、大きなテントが張ってあって、その中でお祝いしてるんですね。
And everyone was dancing around the lamp. There was this big, nice lamp that represents Krishna and the light, and everyone was dancing around the lamp for Kartik. It was very beautiful, really nice.
これぐらいの大きさの大きなランプの周りをみんなが踊って回るんです。それはすごく美しい。
And there was many people there. Many people come that were in the tent. Probably about I think maybe 400 people there celebrating. It was really nice.
たくさんの人が来るんですけれども、大体その時は400人ぐらいの人が一緒にお祝いをしていました。
Yeah, and the day before, I'd hurt my knee. I'd hurt my knee at work, and it's very painful. So I could not do any dancing. So I could not dance.
前々日に私は膝をちょっと痛めまして、ダンスができなかったんですね。
So when I got to Kartik, I sat down and just watched everyone dancing, and so this was still nice. It was nice to be there, and I was hoping I would be able to sing for Guruji.
で、そこに行って、で座って、でみんながダンスしてる様子を見て、それもすごく素晴らしかったです。そして、感じたのはそのグルジに対して歌を捧げられたらなというふうに感じました。
Yeah. And then I managed to meet the music coordinator, Arada in the corridor, and he said to me, he said, "Oh, if you would like to sing for Kartik, it's from 6 at night till 6 in the morning." And he said, "You'll be able to sing about 4 o'clock in the morning." So I thought, okay, this is good. I'm happy. He said, "Oh, you can come over and sit down, and you can sing for Krishna and for Guruji at 4 o'clock in the morning."
ミュージックコーディネーターのアラダカナンダがそのカルティックナイトの時に歌わないかって、小道で歩いてる時に声をかけられたんですね。でそれが、6
p.m. till 6 a.m.
6時の間、夜の6時から朝の6時の間からなんですけれども、彼は朝4時に歌ってくださいって彼に言いました。
And he said that I could sing at 4 a.m. in the morning. So
で彼は4時に歌ってくださいと。
So I had to stay awake. I had to keep my eyes open to stay awake and make sure I didn't fall asleep.
寝落ちないように気をつけて目を覚ましていました。
Yes, and for about half an hour, I went into my van and I had my harmonium in my van. So I quickly went into my van and practiced. I practiced kirtan to sing in the tent, so I could get some practice.
1時間半自分の車の中で、ハーモニウムを弾いて練習していました。
Yeah. And it was very cold, so I was like cold in my van and like practicing.
もう車の中がすごく寒くて、それでもこうやって震えながら練習してました。
But then I came back into the tent and I watched everyone dancing until 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock, yeah, 4 a.m.
で、テントに戻ってきて朝の4時に戻ってきました。
Then at 4 a.m. I went to sit down in the music with the music people, and there was Swami Anarudananda, the Italian Swami. And he was sitting and he was singing kirtan at the time, and he said, come over and sit next to me. So I sat next to Swami Anarudananda, and he had this really big smile, and he made me feel very comfortable. He made me feel very warm. He's like, come on, and he was say, come and sing. So I sung with him for his doing his kirtan, and this made me feel very relaxed and very comfortable.
バジャン隊の近くに行ってで座ってたんですね。そしたらスワミ・アニルッタがイタリア人のスワミなんですけれども、彼がニコッと笑ってこっちにおいでって声をかけてくださったんです。で、大きな笑顔で迎えてくれて、安心感とすごく居心地が良くなってリラックスできました。
So I helped to support Swami Anarudananda, and then just as Swami Anarudananda was finishing his bhajan, his kirtan, Guruji entered the tent.
スワミアニルダのサポートをしてて、で彼が歌が終わった時にグルジがテントに入ってこられました。
And then he said, "Now it's your turn. It's your turn to sing." So I got on the harmonium and I started to sing a Maha Mantra.
彼のあなたの番ですよって声をかけられて、私はマハマントラを歌い始めました。
Then Guruji came and sat down in his chair on his asana, and he started to join in singing with me the kirtan.
で私が歌っている頃にグルジはアーサナ、グルジの椅子のことをアーサナというのですけれども、そのアーサナに座って、私の歌に参加して 歌い始められました。
And singing very loud, very like really loud, and Guruji was singing very loud too. So I could feel Guruji in my heart when he was singing loud with me, and it was very nice support. And he made me feel very warm and it felt very good. Really nice energy.
私は大きい声で、歌を歌ってたんですけれども、胸の中のグルジを強く感じて歌っていました。そうしましたら、パラマハングルジも大きな声で歌ってくださって、すごく温かい気持ちになって。
Yeah. And then after the kirtan had finished, Guruji called me over to him. He was sitting in his asana, and he called me over.
歌が終わりましたら、グルジが、私を呼んでくださったんですね。
And he asked me, he said, "How are you?" He said, "How are you? How are you?" And he said, "How is London? How is life in London?"
で、グルジが呼んでくださって、元気ですか？イギリスでの人生はいかがですか？と声をかけてくださいました。
And I said, I'm good. I said, but London, I said, work is very hard. Like my work that I do for my business, I said it's very hard. And he just smiled. And when I was sitting next to Guruji, I was kneeling down, and the pain in my leg, in my knee, disappeared. I no longer had this pain in my knee.
グルジのご質問に対して、私は、はい、体調はいいです。ロンドンでの仕事のはとても難しいですけれども、でそうしましたらグルジが笑われて、グルジの隣に座らせていただいたんですけれども、その時に私は痛みが消えていました。私の膝の痛みが。
And then Guruji said to me, he closed his eyes and he says, "What do you want?" He said, "What do you want?"
グルジはその後、あなたは何が欲しいですかと聞いてくださいました。
And I was not expecting Guruji to say this to me. I wasn't expecting him to say, "What do you want?" And I didn't know what I wanted.
私はグルジに何が欲しいですかと聞かれることなど期待していませんでした。
And maybe I should have said, Guruji, I want to feel you in my heart. I want to feel the divine. I want to feel God in my heart. I want to, feel love in every moment. But I didn't say this. This is what I probably should have said, but I did not say this. I should have. Maybe I should have said that I wanted to feel Guruji in my heart, or feel love in my heart, or feel the divine in my heart when he asked what I wanted.
Should say.
Yeah, but I didn't.
私はグルジをハートの中で感じて、神の愛をハートで感じれるようになりたいですって言うべきでした。けど私は言いませんでした。
To feel connection. But instead I just said, he said, "What do you want?" And I said, I just want to be happy. I said, I just want to be happy.
で、グルジは何が欲しいですかとおっしゃったので、私はただ幸せでありたいですと言いました。
And he said, happy. He said, anyone can be happy. He said, if you want to be happy, be happy. He said, but tell me, what do you really want?
幸せになりたいって、そんなんただ幸せであればいいだけじゃない。本当に何が欲しいのって聞かれました。
So then I said, well, Guruji, I said, if I really want something, I said, I guess my connection is to you and in my heart is when I sing. I said, if I sing, then I feel this warmth and I feel this connection with the divine. I feel the connection with the Guru, with you in my heart. I said, so if I want anything, it was to be able to feel this stronger and deeper, to feel connection in my heart when I sing. To feel connection in my heart when I sing.
私は歌を歌っているときにあなたの愛をより深く感じれるようになりたいです。
To feel Krishna in my heart and to feel Guruji in my heart.
グルジとクリシュナが私のハートで感じられる。want?
Yes, that's to feel, yeah.
すいません。ハートの中でグルジとクリシュナを感じられるようになりたいですとおっしゃいます。彼は。
And then Guruji said, okay, he said, if I give him to you, and then he pointed his finger on the altar, the big altar, and there was a Krishna, and this Krishna was like about 8 feet tall, 8 feet, maybe 2 meters high. Krishna. He said, if I give him to you, and then I was looking at Krishna, and I thought, how is he going to give me this big Krishna? How is he going to give this big Krishna to me?
じゃあグルジが指をさされてこの大きなクリシュナをあげるとしたらっておっしゃったんですけど、その大きなクリシュナっていうのは2メートルあったんですね。こんな大きいクリシュナをどうやって私に授けてくださるんだろうって思ったんです。
So I was thinking, I was looking at this Krishna, and I was thinking, if he's going to give me this Krishna, I've got to put him in my car, in my van, and take him back to London. And this is what I was thinking.
こんな大きな2メートルのクリシュナを授かったら車に乗せてロンドンに帰るのかなって考えてたんです。
And then he said, if I give him to you, you have to promise to look after him. You have to look after him and sing for him. You have to sing for him, is what he said.
あなたがもし彼を受け取ったならば、あなたは、彼に対して歌を捧げないといけないですよっておっしゃいました。
And to only sing for him, to only always sing for him in your heart, to always sing for him. To only sing for Krishna, for
ナラヤナクリシュナのために歌いなさいよとおっしゃいました。ためだけのために。
So I said, yes, okay, Guruji, I'll only sing for him. And he said, okay. He said, give me your hand.
わかりました、グルジ。私は彼のためだけに歌いますと伝えた後に、グルジはあなたの手を貸しなさいとおっしゃったので、手を差し出しました。
So then I put my hand on his chest. I put my hand on the center of Guruji's chest here, like this. Just kneeling. I was kneeling next to him. My hand was flat on his chest.
グルジの胸の中央に私の手を置きました。
Then, all of a sudden, I felt his heart was pounding, going boom, 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 very fast and very hot. And his heart was pounding like his heart was coming out of his chest. The heartbeat was so fast.
胸に手を置いた途端にこうブンブンブンと鼓動がとても強くなって熱くなってきて、
Yeah,
で、
strong.
すごく強く感じてきたんですね。
It was like a drum. It was like a drum, like boom, 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 boom,
ドラムみたいな
hard, like banging, like bass on a drum.
です。
And so then I'm holding my hand there, and I'm looking at Guruji, and his eyes were closed. Then all of a sudden, he put his hand on his left side of his chest, where his heart is, his normal heart, and he told me to put my hand on top of his hand like this. Guruji put his hand on his heart here, and then I put my hand flat on top of his hand.
グルジが最初に、左の胸に手を置かれて、でその後彼の手をカバーするようにこう、私の手を置いたんですね。
So my hand was flat on his hand, and I could still feel his heart beating through his hand very fast and very warm.
彼の手を通して、それでもまだ鼓動が感じ取れるぐらいですごく温かかった。
Yeah. Then my hand started tingling. I started to feel like a energy in my palm, and Guruji started to pull with his hand from his heart.
手のひらがちょっとくすぐったいような感じで、手のひらに何かを感じ出して、でグルジがその後こう引っ張り出してこられたんです。
Yeah. And then he pulled and pulled, and then his heartbeat got faster and faster and harder and hotter. And then I felt him pull something from his, it felt like something came from his heart, something pulled out from his heart.
彼が、グルジがこう胸から引っ張り出すのを感じて、でだんだん熱くなってきて、そして硬くなってきたんですね。
Yeah. Then he pulled his hand down from under his garment, and he pulled from under his garment this Narayana Krishna that you see here.
Garment?
Under his robe. He had his robe, and it come from under his robe and underneath. But it come from here, and then he had to bring it out from underneath.
彼の上着のローブ
Yeah, his
彼の上の着物ですね。ローブの下をこうすり抜けて、ナラヤナクリシュナがこう出てきて、で それがこのナラヤナクリシュナ様です。
Yeah, yeah. Then he placed him in my hand, and when he put Narayana Krishna in my hand, he said, "This is Narayana Krishna." And this Narayana Krishna, he was buzzing with energy, really strong buzzing, like energy, strong buzzing.
で、彼がそのグルジがこう手に出してくださって、彼はナラヤナクリシュナ様ですよって言ってくださって、それはとてもすごくエネルギッシュでパワフルでした。
Yeah, yeah. And when I could feel my heart get very warm, so my heart became very warm, and then this part of my like my ajna became very clear while I was holding this Narayana Krishna.
で、私のハートはとっても温かくなって、で、第三の目のあたりがとてもクリアになってきました。それはそのナラヤナクリシュナ様を抱いている時に感じました。
So then I was holding this Krishna, and Guruji said to me, "What are you going to do? Are you going to share him and show him to people, or are you going to keep him to yourself?"
で、あなたはどうしますか？人々のためにこのナラヤナクリシュナ様を見ていただきますか？それともあなた自身のために受け取りますか？というふうにグルジに聞かれました。
So I said, "Of course, I'm happy to share him, Guruji. I will share him." And then he said, "Okay." So everyone in the Kartik, they all came to have darshan, to all have darshan for Narayana Krishna.
で、私は皆様と共有させていただくことを嬉しく思いますというふうに言ったので、カルティックナイトに参加している皆さんがナラヤナクリシュナ様をダルシャン見ていただくことができました。
And I placed him on a silver tray. There was a silver tray with lots of, like you see here, tulsi. There was lots of tulsi on the tray, and Krishna was on the tray, silver tray.
シルバーのトレーの中にたくさんのトゥルーシーを敷き詰めて、そこにナラヤナクリシュナ様が立っていただいて、でそこでダルシャンを授けていただきます。
Yeah, so everyone had darshan. Then after, this was at 6 o'clock, about 6:30 in the morning, and now it was nearly time for prayers, for morning prayers after Kartik.
で、そのダルシャンをしたナラヤナクリシュナ様のダルシャンをした時はもうすでに6時で、もうすぐ7時のモーニングプレイヤーが始まる時でした。
Yeah, and so most people didn't go to sleep. They went straight to morning prayers, and I went to morning prayers as well. And I was holding this Krishna, Narayana Krishna, and I had him in a cloth, and I was sitting in the temple doing prayers.
大体の人がもう寝ずにそのままモーニングプレイヤーに参加して、で私もテンプルの中に行って、座ってモーニングプレイヤーをしておりました。
And I was feeling very sleepy. I was feeling very sleepy, and I was just looking at prayers, and I kept drifting off like this, and I thought I can't, because I didn't want to drop this Krishna. So then I thought I'm gonna have to go back to my room. So I left the morning prayers with about 20 minutes left to go. I left the morning prayers and went to walk out of the temple. As I walked out of the temple, Guruji was sitting right outside the door of the temple, just sitting on a bench, just watching me. He said, "Where are you going?" I went, and I didn't say I was going back to my room. Oh, you can say this.
もう本当に眠たくって、でけど寝たらもうナラヤナクリシュナ様を落としてしまいそうだったので、もう部屋に戻って寝ようと思ったんですね。それがだいたい20分ぐらい過ぎたところで、外に出ようと思ったらグルジがドアの前にいらっしゃって、でどこに行くんだいって言われたから、僕の部屋に帰って寝ますなんか言えないので
Yeah, so he smiled, and I didn't say I was going back to my room because prayers were still going. There was still 20 minutes left of prayers. So he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to the toilet, Guruji."
部屋に帰れますなんて言えないからトイレ行きますって言ったんです。
And then he said, "Okay." He said, "If you're going to the toilet, he said, give me the Krishna." I said, "I will look after the Narayana Krishna while you go to the toilet, and then when you come back, I'll give him to you." I said, "Oh, okay."
じゃあ君がトイレ行くなら私がナラヤナクリシュナのお世話をしといてあげよう。だからあなたがトイレから帰ってきたらあなたに返しますってグルジがおっしゃいます。
So Guruji was sitting outside the temple on a bench, and he held the Krishna. When I took the Krishna from the tent, the silver tray that he was on, I went to take one piece of tulsi, one leaf of tulsi,
でグルジはテンプルの外側のベンチに座っていらっしゃいました。で、カルティックナイトの後にそのトゥルーシーが敷かれたシルバーのトレイから一つのトゥルーシーをピックアップ一つのトゥルーシーを持ってたんですね、ナラヤナクリシュナ。
And there was lots of tulsi there, lots. And Swami Keshava, he said to me, he said, take some more tulsi. He said, don't be so humble taking one leaf. He said, take more. So I went and took lots of tulsi, lots of tulsi like this tulsi with the flower like this. Many tulsi with the Krishna.
一つのトゥルーシーだけ取ったので、スワミケーシャバがそんな謙虚にならないでもっとたくさん取りなさいって言ってくださったので、たくさんもうわしづかみにしてたくさんのトゥルーシーをいただいて、このようなトゥルーシーのお花のところをたくさんいただきました。
So when I gave the Krishna to Guruji, I gave him all the tulsi with it, the tulsi. Gave the tulsi to Guruji as well. When I went to the toilet.
私がトイレに行くときにナラヤナクリシュナ様とトゥルーシーたくさん受け取ったトゥルーシーと一緒にお渡しさせていたしお渡ししました。
And then when I came back from the toilet, Guruji, he gave me back the Krishna, Narayana Krishna, and he'd got this tulsi and he'd weaved the tulsi all around and clothed this Krishna in tulsi. He was covered in tulsi and Guruji had weaved everything around him, made like clothing out of tulsi.
トイレから帰ってくると、このトゥルーシーのこの花の部分をナラヤナクリシュナ様がこう着てるようにグルージが着付けをしてくださってたんですね。まるでお洋服を着てるかのように。
So this was a very beautiful, very beautiful gift that he gave me, and and that's the first part of the story.
それはとても美しい思い出の授け物ですね。それが私が授かった時の第一パートのお話です。
It's really beautiful, very nice blessing. Have a kartik. And have we got much time to carry on? Okay, so this was in November 2019. Then I come back to London. Then I went back to Springen for Christmas. So I stayed at Springen for Christmas time, celebrate Christmas, and I took my Krishna, and it was really nice, nice time, and stayed there till the New Year. And then I went to Bali. I went to Bali with my sort of ex-girlfriend. With my ex-girlfriend, I went to Bali, and we went to Bali on a plane.
2019年の11月にそのお話だったんですけども、その後私はロンドンに帰りまして、でクリスマスにまたシュリピタニライに戻りました。それは新年をお祝いするためで、またグルジにナラヤナクリシュナ様を見ていただいて、でその後バリに、以前の彼女と過ごすためにバリに行きました。
And when we was on the plane going to Bali, as the plane came into land, the wings it was not far off the ground, and the wings were shaking like this, and the weather was like very windy, really windy, and everyone was crying on the plane. Everyone was scared.
バリに着陸するときに、地上からそんなに遠くない標高のところでとても風が強くて、こう飛行機がすごく揺れて、すごく風が強くて、みんなが恐れを感じるような。
And I was sitting in my chair. My girlfriend was there, my ex-girlfriend, and then I had a bag here on this chair and Krishna was in my mala bag inside another bag on my chair.
で、彼女が隣に座っていて、で隣にカバンを置いてたんですけれども、そのカバンの中にマーラバッグを入れてて、そのマーラバッグの中にクリシュナ様を入れてました。
And then as the plane landed, it hit really hard, and the wings were shaking, and all the luggage all fell out of the plane. Everyone was like screaming, and it was quite scary.
で着陸するときにすごく激しく揺れまして、上の手荷物が全部落ちてきたんですね。ですごく乗客たちもすごく怖くて叫んでました。
Yeah, it was the worst landing I've been on in a plane. It's more
私が
scary.
今まで飛行機を乗った中で一番最悪でした。
Everyone was praying, saying, "Please God, please help me."
みんなもう神様助けてくださいとお祈りしてました。
And then, as the plane landed and hit, my bag hit the chair and hit the floor.
で、私のカバンは、前の座席にポンと当たってポトンと落ちたんですね。
Just as the plane landed.
着陸するときに。
Then, when it landed and everyone was okay, I picked my bag up, opened the bag, and I got my Krishna to make sure. And I looked at him, and his Sudarshana chakra. He's normally like this with his flute, and his Sudarshana chakra was here. As I picked him up, his Sudarshana chakra had gone like this, and it was like his hand had actually moved, and it was almost touching his ear, his hand.
着陸した後にカバンの中のクリシュナ様が大丈夫かと思ってカバンを開けたんですね。で、カバンを開けて、普段はこのようにまっすぐなってるんですけど、開けて確認しましたら、スダルシャナチャクラを持っている方の手がそのクリシュナの顔に向いてたんですね。
So I spoke to my Pujari friend, his name is Chandra, and he said, it sounds like if the plane's hit hard and Narayana Krishna has hit the floor, his Sudarshana chakra has saved the plane. He's put his hand on the floor and he's probably saved the plane. He probably saved all of you. I was thinking, yeah, that's possible.
でプジャーリーの、友達のチャンドラという人に連絡をして、私が着陸するときにとても激しく着陸したので、スダルシャナチャクラが折れたという話をしましたら、彼はそれはみんなを助けるためだったんじゃないのかなっていうふうにおっしゃったので、そうなのかなと思いました。
So when we got off the plane and got into a taxi to go to where we were staying. And on the way in the taxi, I'm looking at my Krishna and I'm thinking his hand is here. I felt I had to try and put the hand back, to put it back to position. So I had him and I was just trying to gently push his hand back like this. Just gently trying to push it back.
タクシーに乗って滞在先に向かう途中に、こう腕が曲がってるのをこう優しくこう戻そうと試したんです。
Yeah. And my girlfriend next to me, she said, she was asleep and she opened her eyes. She said, "Don't do that." She says, "If you do that, you might break him. So just don't do that."
隣にガールフレンドが座ってて、やらない方がいいよって言ってます。
But because his hand was like this, I thought Guruji was telling me, yes, you can do this. You can get his hand back to normal. So I carried on trying to put his hand back, push his hand back.
こういう風にスダルシャナチャクラが顔の方に向いているので、グルジがあなたならできるって言ってるように感じるので、曲げ続けてたんです。
And slowly it went from here to about here. And I thought, if it's got halfway, I can just do a bit more and get it back to position.
で、半分ぐらいこう元に戻ったんですね。で、もうちょっとあと半分っていうところだった。
Yeah. And maybe I should have just accepted him how he was. I should have accepted his new form. And if he did save the plane, then it's a blessing. And I should have just accepted him how he was.
私はただもう受け入れるべきだったんです。もうどのような形であっても、その彼がどういう状態であっても。
But I didn't, and I really felt Guruji was making me do this. So I carried on trying to push his hand, and then as I pushed his hand back on the Sudarshana chakra, I just heard, and I thought, oh no, and it broke. His Sudarshana chakra on his wrist, his hand broke.
けど私は受け入れることをせずに続けて腕を曲げ続けて戻そうとしたんですね。そうしましたら腕がポキって手首のところが折れちゃったんです。
And then I felt really bad. I felt like I just like my heart went cold, and I just thought, oh no, what have I done? What have I done? I just felt terrible. I really felt so bad, really bad. Yeah, I just felt really, really terrible.
すごくすごく嫌な気持ちになって、冷たい気分になって、何をしてしまったんだろうって感じたんです。
Then, when we was driving to my ex-girlfriend, she made like malas. So we was going to this shop where they actually done, they made small little jewelry, and they done welding of jewelry together, which was coincidental. They welded jewelry, like hot weld, like soldering, silver and copper, brass soldering, metal to metal, and like hot and weld together.
You mean did you go to jewelry shop?
Yeah, jewelry shop. She was going to, and I showed them the Krishna and the hand, and they said we can fix it. We can actually do brass, copper, and silver solder.
ジュエリー屋さんに行きまして、そしたらジュエリー屋さんの宝石屋さんが直せますよって言ってくださったんです。シルバーと真鍮、銅と、真鍮とプラス銅で。はい。
Yeah, yeah. But I didn't want to give it to this shop man because I felt uncomfortable. I wasn't ready, and I needed time to think what to do. So I went back to where we were staying in this hotel place, like an apartment place where we were staying. And that night, I was holding my Krishna and the Sudarshana chakra, and I just cried. I cried for a long time through the night, and then I was singing to him, and I was crying about for forgiveness. You know, I was crying for forgiveness, crying.
Just crying.
Yeah, crying because because of what happened. I was in the room that night, and I was just focused on the Krishna.
この出来事があって、私はもう一晩中泣いてたんですね。
And then my girlfriend, she got very angry because she's saying, "You love this Krishna more than me." She goes, "You should like, I'm your girlfriend. You should like." And she was looking at me thinking I was crazy, thinking that I'm crying over this Krishna. I got tears, and I felt so bad. And I felt really guilty. A lot of guilt come up. A lot of guilty feelings come up inside me for what I've done.
以前の彼女がそれを見て、とても怒り出したんです。私のためには泣かないのにって。で、神様のナラヤナクリシュナのために泣いて、で、そして罪悪感さえもうすごくたくさん出てきました。
And then so I was due to go back to London to drive to London to fly to London, but I cancelled my flight and I flew to India to Vrindavan instead because I knew Guruji was in India and I wanted to go and see Guruji to show him what I'd done or to explain to him what I'd done.
で私はもともとイギリスに帰る予定にしてたんですけど、それをキャンセルしてインドに行く予定にしました。それはグルジにあって私が何をしてしまったかということを説明するためです。
Yeah, and before I left to go to India, my girlfriend, she went back to her home, and I went back to India, and before I went back to India, I got him fixed. So I went to the shop, and the man who done the soldering, he fixed it, made it strong.
で、インドに行く前にその宝石屋さんでこの手首を戻していただいて。
Yeah, he fixed it. Then I went to India. I went to Vrindavan. This was in 2020, in round about January time, and Guruji was doing a pilgrimage in India, and I stayed in the ashram, helping to do work and seva and building the building, making the building in the ashram, and I waited 4 weeks for Guruji to arrive into Vrindavan.
You waited 4 weeks.
4 weeks. So I stayed 4 weeks in the ashram, helping, and then took my Krishna, and then waited for Guruji to come to Vrindavan so I could show him what happened.
2020年の1月にグルジが巡礼のためにブリンダバンに来るということを知ってたので、4週間前に入ってアシュラムに滞在して、アシュラムの建設のサポートをしていました。
Then 4 weeks went by and Guruji came to the ashram, and I explained to him what I'd done, and I said, Guruji, I said, I've had an accident with my Krishna. I said, his hand went like this. He said, it's okay. He said, just leave him how he is, it's fine. I said, no, Guruji. I said, then I tried to put it back, and he said, you broke it. You broke your Krishna. I said, yes. I said, I broke his wrist. And he said, okay, go and get me the Krishna and show me. Go and get the deity. So I went to go and get the deity, and then I turned around and Guruji disappeared. He was gone. So then we done prayers, we done evening prayers. Then Guruji appeared. Then Guruji appeared, and then he. Okay, yeah, this is nice.
グルジが来られたんですね。で、グルジが来られた時におっしゃったのは、大丈夫だよって、そのままにしておきなさいっておっしゃったんですけど、その後に、君が壊したのかいっておっしゃったんですね。で、その後、取りに行って見せなさいって言われたんです。
Yeah. Then, so I went to go and get the deity, went to get Krishna. I brought him down and I gave him to Guruji. And Guruji said, okay, he said, where did you break him? I said, on his Sudarshana chakra, on the wrist. And he looked and he touched the wrist and he touched the Krishna. Then he looked at him and he smiled and then he held the Krishna to his heart.
で、その後、自分の部屋にクリシュナを取りに行って、で、グルジに渡しました。そしたら、どこが壊れてるのっておっしゃったんで、手首のスダルシャナチャクラのところですっていうふうに説明しましたら、グルジがニコって笑われて。
Yeah. And I said to him, is he going to be all right? Is he okay, Guruji? Because I was worried, I was worried because I'd broken him and I thought this is not good. And the day before, we went to Yamuna and I went with a devotee friend and there was a Saraswati in the sand. And the Saraswati was buried in the sand, and she had her right hand broken, same as Krishna.
1日前に、ヤムナ川に行ったんですけど、そのヤムナ川にサラスワティ女神様が祀られてたんですけど、そのサラスワティ女神様も右手が同じように壊れてたんです。
Yeah. And I went towards the Saraswati, and the devotee friend, he said, Don't touch Saraswatis. This is you cannot worship broken deity. He said to me.
で、そのもう一人のキエシャの友人と一緒にヤムナ川に行ってたんですけど、その彼が触っちゃダメだよって、そのサラスワティ女神になぜなら壊れた心臓には触っちゃいけないんだよって言うんです。
Yeah. So this was the day before I was going to see Guruji. So now I'm talking to Guruji, and I showed him. And I asked, I said, is he okay, Guruji? Is he going to be okay? And Guruji said, yes, of course he's going to be okay. He said, if you're, of course he's going to be okay. Yes.
で、それが前日に起きたことで、私は心配になって、彼は大丈夫ですかってグルジに聞いたんです。
He said he's manifested deity. He said, if your mother breaks her wrist, he said, do you get your mother and throw her away and don't love her anymore? He said, no, you don't do that. You love her more. You love her deeper.
もしあなたのお母さんがあなたの手首を折ったとしたら、そのお母さんはあなたのことを放っておいて何もお世話しないっていうことはありますかって、そんなことはないでしょって。
Yeah. So he said, with this happening, he said, you have built relationship. And you've had experience with what has happened, and it brings you closer because you've had emotion that's come up, and you felt tears from your heart for what's happened, and it brings you more connection and deeper relationship.
この体験というのは、クリシュナとの関係性を深めるためのものだったんだよって、感情を引き出して涙を流して、でもっとより深い関係性を築くためのものだったんだよって教えてくださったんです。
Yeah, and then so you love him more. Then when this happened, this was when Guruji came in February. Then there was a COVID pandemic COVID pandemic, and
で私はより彼を愛することができるようになりました。で、それからCOVIDのパンデミックが起きたんです。
Then everyone was in India. Guruji was in India for about 7 or 8 months, I think, 7 or 8 months, and everyone, we was all together because only a few people could get out of India to fly back home, but many people were stuck in India for nearly, I was there for 1 year, and I only went to see Guruji to show him the Krishna, and I ended up being in Vrindavan for 1 year.
ただ私はそのナラヤナクリシュナを見せに行くためにインドに行ったんですけども、その後 COVID のパンデミックが起きたために私は 7,8 ヶ月もうそこにずっと滞在7,8 ヶ月もうグルジも滞在されてましたし、で私はもう1年近くそこに滞在することになったんですね。
And so I spent a lot of time with Guruji and the devotees in the ashram in Vrindavan, like I say, for 1 year. And I would never have gone to India. I would have if I hadn't it hadn't have happened, the accident, then I would have not gone to India. So it was a blessing that everything happened. It was meant to be for me to go to be with Guruji, to experience life in Vrindavan during this COVID time when there was lockdown. We were locked down inside the ashram altogether.
このことが起きなければ私はその長い間グルジと過ごすこともなかったですし、たくさんの経営者と過ごすこともできなかったんですね。でこれは COVID を通して内側ですごく素晴らしい祝福を受け取ることができました。
Yeah. And then so being with all different devotees and meeting different people, it was a good experience of helping to go deeper in the heart. Learning different practices, prayers, the chanting, all different things that we've done together. It was good experience to learn and grow. So I did a lot of growing and learning in that 1 year in Vrindavan. So it was very important. And the heart sharing exercise that we've done today, done this in India, which wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have done it otherwise. So it's very beautiful, and it's lovely being with Guruji as well.
すべて深い内側の愛の中での体験をたくさんさせていただいて、いろいろなことの学びや練習やプレイヤーなどもたくさん学んで、たくさん成長することができました。これはグルジ通しての恩寵です。
So the thing I learned was that he creates everything everything's that created for us to act on, for us to do and to learn from and to experience and to grow. So this is what I learned from this, and it did build a deeper relationship with Narayana Krishna as well, because it made me really feel deeper for him, because there was life experience with him. Yeah.
彼は私たちのために、体験から学ぶように起こしてくださっているんですね。で、そしてナラヤナクリシュナとの関係を深めるための祝福でもありました。
And Guruji said to me, no more put your Krishna in mala bag. He said, put him in a box. He said, get a box and keep him in the box. So I got a box for Krishna in Vrindavan, and now I keep him in a box whenever I travel. no more mala bag.
マーラバッグに、その後グルジからはマーラバッグにもこれ以上入れるなよって、ちゃんと箱に入れなさいって言われたんで、もうずっと箱に入れています。
And then this is the story. So yeah. So Jay Gurudev.
これがね。